Every single... What room do I have to leave people? How's my ride recorder? All that stupid...
Yeah, we're going to look at it. I know those guys have been hard on you, man.
Tensions ran high at Iowa Speedway, and this time, it wasn't just between rivals. Kyle Larson lost it on live radio last Sunday at Iowa Speedway. He wasn't yelling at a rival, he was mad at his own teammate Chase Elliott. The race got rough and Larson's car took some hard hits. Then, he snapped. Fans couldn't believe what they heard. It wasn't just a bad day, it showed something much deeper going wrong inside the team. What started as a heated moment turned into a glimpse of deeper friction inside one of NASCAR's top teams, raising questions about how it might affect the playoff picture. Larson entered Iowa with confidence after a strong second-place finish at the Brickyard 400. He qualified well, starting third, and looked ready to fight for the win. The opening stage went as planned. Larson stayed clean and brought it home in sixth. But from there, the tone of his race changed completely. The trouble started during a Stage 2 restart. With 25 laps to go in the segment, Larson got caught between Chase Briscoe and Chase Elliott. As Elliott pushed for position, he made contact with Larson's left front tire, affecting the car's handling and throwing off Larson's rhythm. At first, Larson kept quiet on the radio, but his driving showed growing frustration. Then it happened again. Just 20 laps later, another restart led to even harder contact between the two teammates as they both fought for the same piece of track. Larson's car slid sideways, nearly crashing, a moment that left NBC commentator Jeff Burton stunned. Almost wrecked. I cannot believe he saved that race car. By Stage 3, the frustration between the drivers became more apparent. As Larson battled Christopher Bell for 6th place, Bell got loose and slid into the number 5 car. Larson briefly lost grip and came close to the wall but managed to recover. Even so, the repeated contact had affected the car's performance, and he gradually began to fall back through the field. That's when Larson let loose on the radio. "Fought every single motherfucker, dot it," he shouted. Moments later, after a caution flew for Bell's incident with Tyler Reddick, Larson continued, "How much room do I have to leave people? I've been trying to be good to teammates, trying to be a good competitor, and it hasn't gotten me anywhere the last hour."
Every single... What room do I have to leave people? How's my ride recorder? All that stupid...
Yeah, we're going to look at it. I know those guys have been hard on you, man. Vin, yell at me, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to reset. I know you're mad. Stay mad for a few minutes, and we'll figure out our next move. I'll let you know on the image. Stand by.
Been quiet for 40 minutes. Man.
His crew chief, Cliff Daniels, did his best to calm him down. "I know those guys have been hard on you, man. Vent, yell at me, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to reset." But the damage was done. Larson was furious, emotionally drained, and visibly shaken. The irony? Chase Elliott, the driver who tangled with Larson the most that day, ended up finishing 14th, 14 spots ahead of Larson, who limped to a brutal 28th place finish. Both drivers were left behind by teammate William Byron, who won the Big Cup Series race at Iowa. Fans didn't hold back online. "Good teammate is not in Kyle Larson's vocabulary." One tweeted, "He's getting raced the way he's raced others for years." Another added, social media was ablaze with memes, jokes, and commentary questioning Larson's outburst and whether his definition of teamwork is just now catching up to him. But the bigger story might be the internal dynamics at Hendrick Motorsports. Larson and Elliott are both alpha drivers, both Cup champions, both fighting for playoff dominance. Larson came into the race third in the point standings with 711 points, trailing Elliott by just 15. After Iowa, the gap widened dramatically. Larson is now 45 points behind new leader William Byron. This isn't the first time Larson has had issues with Elliott on track, but the public nature of this outburst and the repeated incidents suggests something deeper. Tensions between teammates aren't new in NASCAR. Just ask Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson, or Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Martin Truex Jr. But when it spills over like this, it can create long-term rifts that impact the team's performance across the board. Even NASCAR announcers seemed taken aback. The frequency and intensity of the contact between the Hendrick drivers was unusual, especially considering they're both vying for the regular season title. With playoff points on the line, every race counts, and neither driver can afford missteps now. The situation was made worse by the chaotic nature of the Iowa Corn 350. With 12 caution flags, including one triggered by Shane Van Gisbergen's spin and others caused by multi-car melees, the race turned into a chess match of pit strategy and survival. Larson and Elliott's crashes weren't isolated, but their frequency and timing painted a narrative of dysfunction. To Larson's credit, he's usually calm, even in the face of adversity. But his radio rant marked a turning point, not just in the race, but in how fans and analysts view his dynamic with Elliott. Was it just the heat of the moment, or the result of mounting pressure from within the Hendrick camp? Meanwhile, Elliott kept his cool. Though he was involved in the same on-track incidents, he avoided retaliating or fueling the drama on the radio. Instead, he focused on making the most of the day, climbing from the back of the pack to secure a top 15 finish. His composure may not have made headlines like Larson's rant, but it spoke volumes about his mindset. Looking ahead, both drivers head to Watkins Glen for the Go Bowling at the Glen race. The tight road course could either bring more fireworks or serve as the reset button both desperately need. Larson has historically performed well on road courses, and Elliott is widely considered one of the best in that format. Still, the bigger question looms: can they put the tension behind them? With Byron taking the points lead and a playoff war heating up, Hendrick Motorsports can't afford a split. Whether team owner Rick Hendrick or crew chief step in behind the scenes, it's clear something has to change. One thing's for sure, Iowa wasn't just another race, it was a flashpoint, a public unraveling, a reminder that in a sport where every second counts, tempers can erupt just as fast as engines. For Larson, who's often seen as a composed and strategic racer, this breakdown was revealing. It showed the toll of a long season and the pressure cooker environment of competing not just against rivals, but your own teammates. As the regular season winds down, the tension between Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott might be the storyline to watch, because while their rivalry didn't end in a wreck, it might just explode before the playoffs even begin. Stay tuned, this isn't over.